Internet drama.
Issues going on in the vape industry again, and this time it's something that I'm very close to is advocacy. Larry William Faircloth, somebody that I've worked with a lot, but apparently there's some issues here that
we've interviewed him before on the old video show.
And you know what? And that's the thing that's kind of pissing me off, because I want to know what's going on, because I've stood on a stage and I'm pissed off about this many a time with Larry, and we've done advocacy. I've helped him with his drives, promoted it. We've done that together.
I interviewed him at a shop, first live show we did at the shop.
Yes, and have always been in full support with that. And to find out that we possibly could be a fraud, this could be what I'm not sure what's going on here. I want to know. I'd like to know from him. We've reached out to him. He's more than welcome to come on. Or if anybody wants to give us a call,
the same to the people
888 Vape Fam. It's. Right. I want to hear all sides of what's going on with this.
Right. I want to hear it from the people who are, making accusations too. I mean,
I know Kurt Alphen had posted a post in Convicted Vapes as far as it goes into detail as far as the entire situation. I mean, I won't get into all of that, but it's up there for anyone that wants to read. I've read it. Then I've also seen the screenshot of Larry's reply back to him regarding this and the language that was used and some of the things that were said, and it doesn't look good. I mean, it's bad optics, as they say in the marketing PR world. It's bad optics. No, it's not a good look. It's not a good look.
Not at all.
And it's looking like perhaps, it looks like his lawsuit was real, is what I've been told. But maybe this wasn't run the right way, and maybe there was some abuse of funds. I know there's some other abuse and other situations in it. But is this just another stereotypical, politician, coming in and I'm your savior. I'm the one that can fix it.
I would absolutely.
And you know what? That was probably one of the things always that even, I guess, maybe bothered me a little with Larry is just it always did seem the message was he could save it. Only him could say could save vaping.
Yeah.
So don't give your money to me, because I'm the only one that can say I can do it. And it just really reminds me.
It's reminiscent of other things in life.
Right. Yeah.
Only I can do this.
Right.
Everyone else sad.
Right.
Only I can do this.
Well, I don't even know. I don't know about politics. I'm not
right, but it's a similar
religion almost.
Right, but it's
Jim Jones shit.
Right, but it's the political aspect of it.
Right.
It's that's how politicians do things. Is hey, give me this so that I can do this and save you.
If anybody ever tells you tells you they're the only one that can do this and save you, that should be a red flag right there. All right?
Exactly.
And I know we have a lot of great state organizations and federal organizations that are out there really trying to do the right thing, like the Kentucky Smoke-Free Association we were just with, or the Virginia Smoke-Free Association with,
Florida,
Ohio,
Indiana.
Right. And you know what? If these funds weren't being used properly and this wasn't,
then it should be called to account.
Yeah, because it's taking money away, and there's a lot of good people, a lot of companies that donated and contributed and helped push this and push his agenda and push his plan to quote unquote save vaping.
Right.
And if it was a fraud and he was using this money for his personal expense and his personal life, then
if that's what the plan was from the get-go, then that should be disclosed when you ask for the funds. That hey, because of what I'm doing, I can't work a job, and so this will support me personally, and do that. And if you do that and you disclose that up front, that's cool. But was that in fact what happened?
Right.
It kind of sounds like it wasn't.
Right.
But again,
we'll get
the floor's open to both sides,
and we'll come back and we'll get into go over Kurt's post in Convicted Vapes regarding it and go into account of that. But again, I want to know what's going on, because I've stood on a stage and I don't want my name and what we do supporting advocacy put in a situation where it's compromised by somebody that's came in that's not up and up, that maybe is a snake oil salesman, because that's what it's looking like. And again, he's supposed to,
and this industry has wanted a hero so badly. We want to believe that.
Right.
That yes, this one guy can go and do this thing and save the whole shebang.
Right.
And do all the work, and boy, wouldn't that be great?
Right.
And we want that so bad. And we know that sometimes we have the blinders on.
Yeah.
Is that the case with this? I don't know. But
we're about to find out. We're about to get to it, and he's welcome. Like I said, we've sent a message and we've talked, and he can come on. But
floor is open to both parties.
But if he wants to address this, and we can do it in a respectful manner, or like I said, we can come back after the break. We'll go over the message, and we'll go with what we have right now.
Because there's no one person that's going to say vape.
No.
We as a group,
right.
as a family,
as a collective.
Right.
And that's the reason we have to address these issues like this, get this stomped out and get this over with and put it to bed and move on, because we've got too many things that are important in this industry to deal with, and we don't need to be sidetracked with our attention or our fundage for advocacy.
There's too little of it to go around of both.
For stupid shit like this. You know what I mean? And honestly, like I said, I'm personally not happy about it, because I've stood on a stage and put my name beside his advocacy campaigns.
Right. He's been on this station.
Right. And talked about what he was doing. And if this has been a fraud, and this is what I see is true, then that's not good. So like I said, we'll go over the message here in a minute.
There you go. 888 Vape Fam, the number if you want to get in on that. If you're one of the parties, by all means, you have something to contribute. Again, we want to try and do it in as constructive a manner as possible. But 888 Vape Fam, the number.
Larry Faircloth is what we're talking about right now. If you don't know, Larry Faircloth has been a advocate, if you will. Somebody in the vape industry that had a lawsuit against the FDA, and was constantly raising funds to support his lawsuit. And he
ran for office.
I think he was
West Virginia. I
think he was elected at one time, and then he wasn't. Then he worked in vape, and then he was trying to get reelected, and I think he lost that, from what I understand. But anyway, apparently while we were in Bowling Green, some stuff came out regarding Larry. We've shared the stage with Larry many times with advocacy and different things. Helped him with his lawsuit, raised money for it, and if this is coming out to be a fraud and fake,
and those are kind of the allegations
here at this point, right? It's not good. It's not good. Kurt Alphen posted a post on Convicted Vapes. I'm just going to read it real quick. I mean, I can't.
Yeah, I think you kind of have to spell it out for those who don't know.
For some people that do not know, right? Now that you know who Larry Faircloth is. It says, representing Convicted Vapes and the Vaping Legend, I, Kurt Alphen, will be sharing my side of the story and knowledge pertaining to Larry William Faircloth. At the beginning, everyone needed a hero, a white knight on a horse. Larry presented this image. He was a vapor and seemed to actually care. I am always ambivalent when it comes to strangers, but I was ready to fight. A good friend of mine told me we needed a symbol of hope. We needed an image to sell. I took part in the first waffle, the Gathering Waffle. I just made a few videos and helped sell the image. The second waffle was one I put together in the Loaded family, the Vroom Vroom Waffle. This was for transportation funds for Larry to travel and spread the word. Looking back on that, it was probably a way to try and obtain further funds and get more people invested. A bit later, I decided to do something big with that image, and 10 group waffles unite all these vapors and groups. After all, it's the only way we win. Numbers, a show of strength. The Hourglass Waffle. I worked on for a few weeks, getting all the details sorted, as well as several others. 3 days before the waffle began, I was sent a private message from, I guess, Larry's girlfriend at the time, Cindy Kinch. It showed Larry specifically stating racist and disgusting remarks. It showed me he was amongst her. I brought this to the attention of a few close friends of mine. It was the combined opinion of all of us to proceed with the waffle. The mission was too important, and for the first time in a long time, I didn't go with my gut. I went on faith, one of my biggest regrets to date. It was a while later, Cindy brought to me allegations of rape for the incident of the screenshot below, as well as accusations of him keeping some of the money. Obviously, that was being raised, I guess. It says, not having a job since all this started. At this point, I took it upon myself to stop him. So basically, Larry didn't have a job through any of this. He was just, the allegation saying, living off the money that was being raised for him in some of these instances. Here is the question for all of you. Do we crush that image of hope? Hurt the actual lawsuit happening, a symbol of hope? So the Legion and I collectively decided to halt his activities. Right around this time, he had dried up convicted vapes, the Loaded family, and Mad Modder. His next target was Vape Nation. So basically, he did all these different groups: Convicted Vapes, Loaded family, Mad Modder. Getting funds, getting money, get him to help him raise money. His next target was Vape Nation. Kurt said, I could not let this happen. I put a plan into action, contacted and spoke with every group owner. David and Gunn and I had a candid conversation. Apparently, Larry had insisted Fast Eddie's do a fundraising event for him. At this time, the company was having issues over ownership. All the money the company had to be liquidated to buy out the other owner. Larry left with some money that night, then hounded the company for the remaining sum he was owed. Eventually, he was given the remaining funds. When asked for proof for tax purposes, he refused to provide any documentation. Red flag right there. All the group owners agreed, and the plan went through. It took me collectively a few months to make sure he was buried and not robbing anyone anymore. The plan was to make him so irrelevant and forgotten he would just take the hint and fade from our community. There was a lawsuit, and funds did go to it. How much he kept or did not remains a mystery. Even if no funds were taken, he is a monster, and monsters should not be in power. About a week ago, it was brought to my attention he was still collecting funds, and this time around, it was specifically to pay his bills. Matty, Ice, Tristan, and I were in the works of officially exposing him with proof. It would have taken a bit more time, but been done right. The post Bobby Hudson did forced our hand. The true horror of what we have lost, the fact that we were so desperate to keep what we love, and a monster came in and convinced us he was a hero. And it goes on to show a screenshot of apparently, I guess, Cindy and Larry, and I guess things he got. Larry is basically saying that's why you were given hands to offer them a gestures of hello and goodbye. Now you smell like a N-word, and he actually says it with a hard R there. And if you find it acceptable, say it now because it will not go without damage. I told you the 3-foot rule for a reason. Apparently you have no regard to rules. Not good. Anyway, yeah, it doesn't look good.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on?
Well, again, I think documentation has to be a key thing for everybody. If you are raising quote unquote advocacy money,
right? Yeah,
documentation. Right. Every penny needs to be accounted for, without fail. I think that's job one for anybody. Right. The end.
Well, I know that some people have quit supporting Larry when his so-called FDA specialist attorney and found out that he wasn't that. He was actually just another politician and didn't even handle federal cases or specialty cases at all. He has an attorney, Patrick Glenn Lane, which is an attorney in that. And basically, from my understanding, is that this, Patrick Glenn Lane is an American politician, Republican member of the West Virginia House of Delegates, representing District 38 since January the 12th. So he's a politician there with Larry. I'm sure he has a legal degree. Doesn't look like he's actually practicing in FDA law or specialty. I'm not sure, but it doesn't say that. It says his practice areas are divorce, separation, sexual harassment, and business appeal. So it looks like that's just, his FDA specialist does not exist. Also, another thing is when he was asked for, like the numbers for his, for it to be a nonprofit. I mean, he couldn't provide anything, basically. He could not.
So this was not a 501c3 nonprofit organization.
Right. Yeah.
Again, not a good look. But that's why those things exist, so that you have that shield there to say, okay, it's 501c3 and here our books are open. Well, come account for every penny.
Yeah, people had asked for receipts, for tax donation receipts, and he wasn't able to provide those. Right. I was told. So,
And I honestly hope that's not the case, but who knows? Hey, the phone lines are open. 888 Vape Fam. Again, he reached out to you before the show, correct? And the offer was made to.
Yeah, we reached. Yeah, we talked. We reached.
Said, hey, doors open.
So if you want to clear the air and
right, if this is a misunderstanding, by all means.
This is. Yeah, I would probably say you're probably last chance to get that.
Right.
If you would like to save any face in this industry, but because what I'm looking at, and apparently, I mean, there's other things that I was told that him and Cindy apparently were having an affair, and that he wouldn't leave his wife, and yada yada, which that's all personal stuff. Whatever.
Right. But, not really vape related.
Not vape related, so we won't get into that. But again, it still goes to the character. So it's again, if someone comes to you and go, you know what, I'm the only one that can save vaping.
Right.
Right, there's your first red flag, guys. I mean,
say it in your Bill Clinton voice.
Yeah, I'm the only one that can save vaping.
Bullshit, politician.
Right,
get him out of here.
Yeah, it doesn't matter who you are. Exactly. It's guys. We have to save vaping. We, a group, collectively.
Hello,
ladies
and gentlemen.
Quit waiting for somebody else to say vape.
I'm Al Gore, and I invented the internet, and I can say vaping.
Right. Well, you know what? And Larry,
liar.
You know what? You just said that. That reminds me. We had when we had a interview with Larry.
Right.
He said something, and I know you and I both literally looked at each other. We've worked so long in radio that we can give each other a look without saying a word and go,
I know what you're going to say.
The fuck? Because tell him what he said.
Basically, he intimated that he has a lot of other business things going on. And one of which was like, it's the next Facebook. It's like
right.
a
I already
clone.
have the next Facebook.
It's like a clone of
and I'm
Facebook.
just sitting on it,
Right,
waiting
and I'm
to
just
unleash it. And
waiting
it's billion dollar idea.
$1 billion idea.
Yeah, it's
and
it's already ready to go. It's already been built.
Right. All we got to do is push the button.
All we got to do is push the button, turn it
And
on.
I'm sitting there thinking, like,
it's going to take over Facebook.
and I'm sitting there thinking, if you have this $1 billion idea, and like,
Why are you sitting there talking to us?
why are you sitting in a vape shop in Alabama begging for funds?
Right.
Push the button and do your $1 billion idea, and then you've got the
There's your
money
funds, right.
to fight the fight. That was kind of a red flag for me, honestly. I was like, either I'm having some smoke blown up my ass, or there's something else afoot here, and I don't know which is which. But that's when I kind of checked out and was like,
I'll
be over here.
I created the internet. It was kind of one of those moments like,
Right.
what? Did this motherfucker just say he could
Exactly.
Did he? What the fuck? Like crazy.
Can I say vape?
No.
Yes, I can.
Yeah.
No, you can't.
No,
We can say
and
vape.
you know, and I guess that would probably be the biggest message, man. Is we've got so many great state organizations, local organizations,
people who are doing the real
even
work,
national. They're really, really doing the right thing. I mean, again,
and doing it the right way.
Kentucky Smoke Free this weekend with Keith and those guys, or James Jarvis and Ohio Vapor Trade Association, the VTA, or all these Julie Wisner with CASA. I mean,
I can't ring
there
the
are
bell
people
enough.
that really are accountable and doing it the right way. One of the
with
things,
open books,
right? One of the things I love about Vapors Carnival is how when they do that and the money that they accept for advocacy, they turn around and post pictures of the checks with trackable, and they're like, here it is. And tag those people so everyone knows here is the check going to this company. This is how much they get. Fig Ramsey does the same thing. He's not hiding anything.
Right.
And,
there's no better way to prove your legitimacy than to just crack those books open and tell the world, check them out, read them and weep.
Right.
There you go.
And
that's being transparent.
And
we need more of that.
It pisses me off again that we've shared a stage and we're giving him opportunity. If this is a mistake, he could. But obviously, it's not, or he would come forth and say, and he's not. So it is what it is, and I guess he's been exposed to the snake that he was. And again, we have to save vape, guys. Us
as a family.
Yes, all of us. Quit waiting for somebody else to do it.
We got to do the work.
We have to do it. Right, correct. We have to do it. We can't wait. There is no. What's the Tina Turner song from Thunderdome? We're waiting for another hero.
Don't need another.
No, we need us, guys. We got to do it. We get up and do something about it. You
got it, man.
I mean, like when we got into doing advocacy, one of the first things I thought of, I would help doing MC and advocacy, and it was like, it always seems like, again, advocates generally aren't the most exciting bunch, and I would see it at these trade shows and conventions that the Cloud Comp or the Trick Comp would have this huge big crowd, and then the advocacy panel would just be crickets and 10 people standing
6
there.
people.
Right. And I'm like, so it was like, you know what, let's do something about that. So we try to get up and do something about it.
Absolutely. We got a call here. They were there. If you want to call back, 888
But
Vape
do something about it. Don't just sit and go, well, I could say, you know what, they need to do more to get the
and it would be great if we could just write
advocacy. Well, no, get up and do something about it.
Right. Wouldn't it be great if we could just write one check to one person and they did go say vape? Wouldn't that be great?
Oh, that'd be
But
fantastic.
that's a fantasy.
Right. No.
This is the real world, and it's just not going to work that way.
And I know there were people like Corey from Boosted that tried to go, "Hey, look, these guys, I have a feeling this is not legit," and
point it
they
out.
get poo-pooed on for. I mean, because there was a moment in time, honestly, where if you question Larry Faircloth, then you are a part of the problem. Mm-hmm. That was kind of put out there like that, and it honestly. It couldn't be that. We need to question, especially when it comes to politicians, guys. And anyone that says that, hey, they are going to save vape, but single-handedly, it's it's not going to work that way, man. We have to save it, and that's consumer by consumer, shop by shop, state by state. That's how it's going to happen.
Right.
And it really breaks my heart to know that all the money that was probably lost and that went to fund this that didn't pan out and didn't work because we're chasing after rainbows still instead of putting the meat to the grinder and doing the work and putting the work in. Mm-hmm. That's what's really hard to do. It's easy to sit back and be a keyboard warrior and do Facebook live streams and from your house and say, man, this is what we're going to do and this is what we do and send me money and whatever. Get out and do something, man.
That's right.
Get out and do something to make a difference,
Now,
you think I like being gone every weekend to go do vape conventions?
Right.
It's fun, but there's a part of me that goes, no. It's about helping those local advocacy groups, whether it's in Kentucky, Virginia, Ohio, or Florida, wherever, and actually trying to make a difference. And that's the only way we're going to save this thing, guys. We We can't
right.
just sit behind our keyboards and think that that's going to make a difference because we're sending prayers and thoughts. Well, that doesn't mean shit sometimes.
That's
sometimes
right.
we need boots on the ground.
Damn right. So use your lotion, say 5 trippers, and ask for penance.
Right.
We are back on a titillating Tuesday after a great weekend in Kentucky, and of course, lots of internet stuff popping off while we were gone.
Unfortunately,
yeah, and some pretty rough accusations out there. Our pal Sherwin Mena,
nice,
on the
good.
phone. Sherwin, how are you?
Good. What's up, guys?
What's going on, man?
Yeah, man, love to get your take on it, brother.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. It's a sad day. I mean, let's be honest. It's a sad day, but I just want everyone to know that did donate that, one, it was a real lawsuit.
Yes.
Number two, it did produce tangible results. It survived a motion to dismiss. The count of consumer rights is allowed to move forward. So any plaintiff who wants to go ahead and move forward with that count in that circuit has the ability to do so. So
we don't need Larry for this to continue to go on, then.
Obviously, exactly. We're talking about the cause, not the man. And I don't want people to get disillusioned that their money that didn't produce a result. There were many manufacturers that went ahead and donated tens of thousands of dollars to EDCA. And what did they get? They got nothing.
Right.
And unfortunately, these were consumers' hard-earned money, but there was a tangible result that happened. Now, obviously, I don't know. Accountability needs to be a part of any advocacy effort going forward.
Absolutely.
I do believe that using consumers to raise monies is dead. I think it's dead. I think that's a good thing because now it's time for the industry to stand up and start funding this fight for their own industry. And we are seeing that. We're seeing that in vape tipping with FIG.
Right.
We're seeing state advocacy organizations that are getting more funding, but still hurting. I think the only honorable and well worth consumer cause is joining and funding CASA,
right?
Which I think is of the utmost importance for all consumers.
Absolutely.
Now, this may have been started with honorable intentions, and it went downhill real fast.
Yeah.
We just, like I said, I think we need to talk about the cause and not the man.
Right.
The cause was honorable. The man was not. But I want everyone to know that there was a result because of this. But there's obviously repercussions if you don't do it the right way. And we're seeing it today.
No, and I'm glad you called in because a lot of this I do not know personally. I know, like I said, many times as well as you, Sherman, that we've stood on the stage side by side with this man and to help with this fight and believe in it, and to even have it questioned is rattling. You know what I mean? Because we've put our names side by side, with these causes and these things, and it is very, very disappointing. And I think that, like, echo the same thing you said, there are so many groups and so many things that are doing it the right way that it don't get sidetracked. And I'm glad to hear some good, did come of this. I'm glad you're pointing that out because those are the specifics that I need to know that I'm curious about myself, You
mean, the lawsuit was real. It did produce a tangible result. It survived a motion to dismiss. One count was allowed to move forward. But the problem is that Larry wanted to go ahead and move forward and appeal the other the other 4 counts. And that's when there was a separation, when we felt, listen, work with what you got. Right. Don't spend consumer money on these other 4 points. Go ahead and move forward. Right. And that's where you saw a split. I've never experienced anything from that man. I mean, I primarily met with him at conventions, so I was not directly I didn't directly hear any of these types of comments. I heard about it though, and people told me about it. And so like, what do? Do you go ahead and you say, all right, we've got something here that looks like might be a good thing. Right. Do we go ahead and we kill it because of hearsay, or do we wait until we get some tangible evidence and then go ahead and squash it.
I totally agree with you, because I think we've gotten in this country where we go on just allegations and go, that's enough, and it's like, no, sometimes I need proof. I need to know that it's not just words, because that's become all too easy in this society today. To accuse, and that be valid enough and to just end someone's career or what have you. And I want to know that exactly is what happened is, and I know I've had, situations that were just personal things that, with Larry that were awkward maybe, but never, again, the mission that we were on, it was way more important than anything like that, so it was never an issue. And it's good to know that something good did come of this, because there was a lot of money raised, a lot of money, and I hate for that money to have gone to paying rent or paying car notes or paying whatever, when it's being misled and told that, no, we're going to use it for the fight. I want to know that it went to the fight, because, I can tell you, when Vape Radio goes somewhere like this weekend, I'll be totally honest with you. Like this weekend, just to give you an example, we go to Kentucky, right? We lose money when we go to these shows. We go there and we spend money, to get on the stage and do advocacy and do things like that, And there's no one we're never asking for funds, we're never asking for donations. And when I see somebody that is, it always makes me a little wary, But then again, if I think the fight and the person's worthy of that, then I have no problem with that. And I did with Larry. And now to start finding out some of these other things that kind of go with some of the gut feelings that I was having to begin with, it's really disheartening.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And, we heard it. Let's be honest. I think we've all heard it. I heard it. But like I said, what are we going to do? We're going to go ahead and say, well, unless I get something factual presented to me, we're going to go, we'll go ahead and we'll kill it.
Right.
But like I said, everyone who did donate, there were tangible results that did occur because of this lawsuit. Some people say, oh, it survived a motion to dismiss. Well, at least it's something, and it's something that could go ahead and move forward. Do we know the true accountability of every penny that went to this lawsuit? No, we don't. I can't say that.
And I think we should. I think going forward, we need to.
Again, like I said,
right. I think that's the big takeaway from all this.
Takeaway from all this is going forward. It's a necessity, and I think that's when these things pop up, whether it be what happened a couple of weeks ago or this or whatever. Let's talk about this so we can recognize where the mistakes, and we can go, where could we have done better? And so going forward, we don't make these mistakes again. And I think you're absolutely right. We need to have accountability, transparency when it comes to any kind of donations and things like that made in the name of advocacy for this industry or these consumers that vape, and it's just going to be a must-have. It has to be done.
Yeah. I mean, with CASA, with CASA, the last waffle, all the donations went directly to CASA.
Right.
So, and they're an open book.
Right.
North Carolina, if anyone wants to join and they want to see our books, I'll show them our bank statements. They can take a look at it.
Well, I know the Virginia Smoke-Free Association publishes its books on the members-only page every month, so the team members can see where every penny goes, and they keep everything 100% transparent with the VSFA, which is how it should be done, period.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. All right, Sherwin, thank you for your call, brother.
I mean, if you
go ahead.
You're welcome. Don't give up hope. There is hope. We got to continue to fight for the cause. Don't let this get you down. If you're a consumer, I think from now on, the only thing that is worthy of funding as a consumer is CASA.
Yeah, there you go. Real quick, Hurricane coming your way. Vape Showcase.
All right, guys.
What do you think? You there?
What do I think?
Yeah, that's your backyard. You know it well.
I think that Charlotte is going to get a lot of rain. Right. I think then you get some wins. I don't think it'll be that bad. I wish them the best. Personally, I think it'll be a dead show. I hate to say that.
I don't see how a consumer or a manufacturer, right?
Go out and,
I don't see how anyone's going to get their money's worth if it goes on either way. So unfortunately, just curious. I know you're in that area, man. I hope you're safe.
Nice. I think we'll be okay. In Raleigh, I think we might get some 75 mile per hour gusts. But, it's just the rain that's going to be a killer,
right?
And that's what you got to watch out for. Trees fall down very easily.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and trees fall down because the roots don't get oversaturated,
ground.
They don't grip as well. And
that's right. All right, well, good deal. Thank you for calling, Sherman. Appreciate you. Love you, guy. Take care. All right.
Well, talk to you soon. Thank you, Sherwin Mena. And another call here at Hi Vape Radio. Thank you for holding. Who's this?
This would be Mr. James Jarvis in Columbus, Ohio.
I've heard of you.
I've heard of this man before.
You're the Jaeger spokesman, aren't you?
I've met him once. it was an out of body experience, right?
Right.
James Jarvis, what is going on with you?
Just kind of listening to you guys this morning, and it's really disheartening is what's going on with this latest. I don't even know what you want to call it.
Fiasco.
Distraction.
Yeah.
I've, like you, Rod, I've shared the stage with him a couple different times at some advocacy events. After the first two, we kind of distanced ourselves. I did, at least, from things I had heard. So I think his lack of not calling in so far speaks volumes.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's there. We've made it very clear.
And it really sucks that we come back from an amazing weekend
Again.
where six advocacy groups got together. The BEAA, OHVTA, KSFA, ISFA, CASA, Vape Tithing. We're all there together, and obviously VTA was a part of that too.
Right.
We're all there together talking about the future of the industry and how we need to protect it. And what's going on today? Rod, do you remember what's going on today?
Yeah, we've got the little bit. Greg Troutman's on his way right now. We're just speaking with him. Yeah, a little Nick up here thing that has some huge relevance for this industry. Probably the biggest story that we're going to hear. Period.
Right. We all need to be focused on that, and then something like this happens,
right?
And we lose sight of the finish line, and we lose sight of what's going on, and we like you guys said before. This industry's always been looking for one single hero, and it's not going to happen.
No.
We need a multiple of groups and folks to do certain things, whether it's advocate, for the retailers, advocate for the stores, advocate for the manufacturers, the wholesalers, the consumers. We can't just have a one-size-fits-all approach.
Right.
And that's
like I said, anyone that ever comes along and says they're the sole thing that can save you, no matter what you're talking about, that's a red flag right there.
Right. Historically, when you look back on it, the people who have been like, only I can save you. Let's see.
Give me your money.
Jim Jones, David Koresh. I mean, these things don't end well.
No, no, they don't. So,
well, just look at our own industry for that. Look at our own industry. We've had, now this is the third person that claimed that they're going to save it on their own pretty much.
Right. And turns out.
And the one, took a lot of money from a lot of people.
Yeah.
With his organization. And now we've got this issue going on.
And we
I just want to focus on the fight. I want to focus on the consumers.
Right, and we don't have time for it. We don't have time. We don't have funds to lose over people ripping us off and believing in false prophets and chasing these dreams. We have to put in the work, each and every one of us. And like you said, this weekend was so fantastic to see all these different state organizations coming to Kentucky from Florida, from Ohio, from Alabama, from all these other places, from California, FIG, all the way from California, to help advocacy and help each other. That's how it changes. That's how a difference is made. No, it's not glorious. No, it's a lot of hard work. No, it's not. It's not all fun. No, it's a lot of work and a lot of time and a lot of money spent. And that's the things that's going to make a difference. Not just here, right? Who do I write a check to, and he's going to make it all better for us.
Exactly. I mean, we should be celebrating what happened this weekend at John Huck's event. Right. We should be.
Right.
John worked his ass off. TD, all the advocacy groups came and showed up. We had serious conversations, and we had a lot of fun, too.
Right.
That show was almost like the industry was 5 years ago, but with the protections, no child appealing labels, and none of the bullshit that we saw in the last couple of years.
There was a lot of business happened this weekend.
Like that.
Right.
Yeah, it was a very successful business to business.
Just talking to people.
It was probably one of the most successful business to business I've seen.
Refreshing.
Yeah, it really was. So, and you're right. That should be the story. The Nicopure case should be the story. So, all right, James, we appreciate you calling, man.
We're talking about how we get screwed. All right, brothers. Hey, see you guys in 2 weeks on Thursday.
Yep, absolutely.
We'll have a lot of fun. We'll head out to Indiana and have some more fun.
That's right. We will see you in Gay Hanna, sir.
Take care.
All right, James Jarvis, the man with the noisiest speakerphone ever.
Yeah, Ohio Vapor Trade Association. Yeah.
We got more calls, Vape Radio. Hi, who's this? Thank you for holding. Hello?
Hello?
Hey, you're on the air.
Hey, what's up, Rod Man and Pablo?
Hey, brother, how you
Who's
doing?
this?
Trey Sullivan, man. I'm out of Georgia.
What's up, man?
I just wanted to speak on the whole Larry What's going on, fellas? How y'all doing today?
We're good, good.
man.
Yeah, speak away, brother.
What's your take, bro?
Well, considering I saw some of the comments and being an African American myself and a vapor,
Yeah.
I took high offense to that word that was used.
Yeah.
I would imagine so.
You know, I've been vaping. Yeah, I've been vaping myself. You know, going on 5 years. You know, me and a group of friends, we have a comp series here in Georgia, and we donate to CASA, and we donate to our local smoke-free association.
Nice.
And it just really bothered me, the word that he used, and then not being transparent with his funds.
Right. Right.
I
Can't
mean,
even give
that
receipts.
to me, like you guys. Right, exactly. Now,
I mean, I've been around the block a few times. I grew up in a little bit of a rough neighborhood, and somebody that I can't give you a receipt for that, dog. Yeah, no, hold up.
Yeah.
Red flags, that goes off, man. You know.
Yeah, and see, like with the series that we're doing here in Georgia, we don't get paid for it, you know, and you know, past the CCSL and all that other stuff, you know, not worried about that. But everything that we've done has been transparent. All the money that we've collected has been transparent, from the competitors to the sponsors. We don't take money from sponsors. We just, you know, they donate prizes for us to give away to the competitors and the spectators. But everything that we have has been transparent. So when you're not transparent in something of that nature, especially dealing with what he's dealing with on that level,
right?
It's like you guys said, it's a huge red flag.
And being a politician.
It just really is.
Which we already don't believe anyway, most politicians.
Wow.
And you know, and then you're going to turn around and,
you know,
you're the only one that can save us, but just give us some money and you don't have a receipt? Wait a minute. I mean, how many red flags do we need?
Right. Well, I mean, you guys know what politician means in Latin, right?
I can only imagine. What is it?
Yeah. No, it's snake. No, I was just making a joke.
Yeah.
I just wanted to call in and.
No, we appreciate you, brother. And,
You know, I just wanted
again,
to call
man,
in
it's
and
nice
just,
to have your take on
you
it
know.
because, I mean, the words that he used and things he said was highly offensive, man. And the thing is he's talking to his girl at that time, too. So it's offensive on several fronts, you know, that it's like, dude, really? You're supposed to be a representative, a role model, someone who's doing the right thing for the right reasons. His family comes from a family of military people and our politicians and people that were, you know, that were set out to serve America. Yeah. And this is what we're at. This is really who you are behind when the curtains are pulled back. It's just a shame, man. It's a damn shame.
Exactly. You know, I come from a military family myself. I served in the United States Navy. We hold integrity very high, and this does not speak well for integrity. For you to not be transparent, for you to not even step forward and say, hey, I made a mistake. I shouldn't have said what I said. I shouldn't have did what I did. You know, I apologize for it. Yeah, kudos to you for the lawsuit against the FDA, and that really happened and everything. But your good does not outweigh your bad.
There's the door. Yeah. There's the door still. Because I mean, again, if it wasn't true, he would be here to defend it. But obviously, you know, it is what it is, and we see where it. You know, integrity is lacking, or you would come and be accountable man to man and clear this up. The thing is integrity's not there, so we have nothing to do but show you the door, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And like you guys said, I hate that this happened. You guys coming off a great show in Kentucky. I had some friends that were there. They said it was awesome. And then you come back, and then here we go again with the drama. Right. Another bad mark on our, you know, coming from our community.
Right.
When we just came off something positive.
Right.
Come on, man. We can't. We're killing ourselves from the inside, and it's crazy.
And we're making them rich in the process.
We've got to cut. Yep. Their pockets are getting fat, and we got to cut that cancer out of this community, or they're going to kill this whole industry.
Amen.
Period, point blank.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate you calling in, man. It's so true. It's so
Thank
true.
You guys. Appreciate
Thank you,
what
buddy.
You guys do. Y'all keep fighting up the good fight, guys.
You too, man. Love you, brother. You can rock, dude. He's awesome, man. He is. He's so right, though. He's so right. He really is. We have to fight together, and it's not just – it's easy to sit back and say what everybody else should do. But, again, getting up and doing something about it is where the difference is made, you know.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was looking at the ad for Burlington Coat Factory. They got a deal on leather trench coats. Anyway, another call here on Vape Radio. Hey, who's this? Thanks for holding.
This is Nick. What's going on, fellas?
Hey, what's going on, Nick?
How y'all doing?
Doing good.
Man. Doing well.
What's your thoughts?
Well, my take is thank you guys for coming out to Kentucky. You guys did an awesome job. We appreciate you.
Thank you, brother.
Thank
We're
you,
glad
man.
to do it.
And I wanted to know
You do a
if you are
fantastic
coming
job.
down to Florida this weekend.
To Florida this weekend. We are monitoring
I do
things.
what I'm told, brother.
It's Nick Orlando, in case you're wondering, everyone, with the Florida Smoke-Free Association. We're monitoring things right now. I mean, we're scheduled to go to Charlotte. I know Brandon Finney had made a comment that he's going to be giving an update here pretty soon, so we're waiting to kind of hear from that.
Yeah.
And monitoring the situation.
Things are in flux, as they say.
Yeah, we're really not sure what's going to go down. It doesn't look good. I can say that for Charlotte. It really, as far as a vape event going on, I can't. I'm just being honest, and this is just complete honesty, because I really, really want to go to Charlotte this weekend. I really do want to see the people. We had a great time visiting there when we went to Vapormania a few years ago. But I don't see how any manufacturer of liquid or hardware or whatever can get their money's worth out of that convention going on. Either way,
It looks like honestly at this point it kind of looks like at best case you're going to have a dead weekend.
You're going to have at the best case, a very empty show, and worst case, obviously, category 4.
Right.
But that's going to be a big determining factor as far as Miami World Vapor Expo or anything like that. So, but we do. So you're saying we are invited?
Come on, man.
All right.
Hey, I like an invitation to Miami.
We're
anytime.
crashing at Nick's house.
We're crashing at Nick Orlando's house. Yeah. But we'll let you know as soon as we find out.
We have to drive back to Clearwater.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But on another note, it was kind of sad, and I know this has been resonant throughout everybody just talking this morning.
Yeah.
It's a damn shame. We have an event like that, and we come out of this, and we're sitting in the middle of this crap, and it's embarrassing.
Right.
It's embarrassing for us guys who are out trying to gain, share knowledge, gain memberships, and talk to people about it. And here's just another punch in the eye as to why advocacy has become a nasty word.
Right.
And it's a damn shame.
Right. No, you're
disgusting.
Absolutely.
And I'm embarrassed for our industry.
I am too. And like I said, I've stood on the stage with Larry and helped and his campaign and his agenda, and I feel had, honestly, to some extent. Whether the lawsuit did have some good points to it, still the fact that you weren't the person you said you were, and maybe these things you don't have receipts. There's just so many little different things that go. It puts a black eye on advocacy, and that's what people that get up on those stages, we have to make sure, that we do our part too and go, you know what, a spade is a spade. And today, ladies and gentlemen, that's a spade. And as far as I'm concerned, if it can't be cleared up, then I don't see where Larry Faircloth has a spot in this industry anymore. I just don't. If you can't trust the person.
And now everything that was worked on to this point that even had a chance that this guy was spewing, it's done. It's done.
Yeah, I think you have to look at it kind of like a military thing. Like the guy before you was talking about his military service. I'm a vet myself, and the battle can go on without one soldier.
Right.
And this soldier proved himself unfitted. Looks like allegedly so. And if that's the case, then the battle will go on without him.
Right.
We will struggle on.
It's just,
but
and that's 100% accurate. But now we just got to explain yet another thing. Not only the labels, compliance, and all that stuff. Now we got to explain something else. So he just added to my workload.
Right.
Bottom line.
Right. Yes, you're totally correct. And that's the part that pisses me off and is very frustrating with me, is the fact that I know the hard work that some of us do put in, like yourself, Nick, and your wife, Dolores, God love her. She goes everywhere and works just as hard as any of us. And there's people out there doing it the right way. Keith Hadley, Fig Ramsey, so many people, James Jarvis, that are doing it right. And they're putting in the work, and then it's so easily to be misled, by someone that has their own agenda, that's doing their own thing and lining their own pockets,
Yep. It's easy to get people to jump behind him and start pushing him. Yeah, man, great deal. Everything's great. He's the greatest thing ever. He's going to be our savior.
Right. Yeah.
And now, somebody of that stature, I've got to go and explain myself twice as much.
Right.
There you go.
Exactly.
All right, Nick, we'll keep doing what you're doing down there in Florida, man, and we will see you at some point in the near future.
Whether you go right or left.
Right.
That's right.
Julie says I go right, kind of to the right.
That's a different thing.
What?
We'll have more. Coming up, Vape Radio.
Vape Radio 24/7 with the app or vaperadio.com.